has come. For 300 years, we prepared, we grew stronger. While you rested in your cradle of power.
So I don't know what's going on with the MCU. It's a really strange way they've been going about doing things lately. They seem determined to run their legacy into the ground. I personally think Endgame is a great place to stop. I think you can say they wrap things up perfectly there, and I'm content with just ending things there forever, to be honest. But, you know, they're going to keep things going, and they're determined to take it to a woke direction, which is mind-boggling because, well, as Birds of Prey can tell you, that's not really the best way to go about things. We had so many woke flops last year. Had Terminator Woke Fate, Charlie's Angels, and so on and so on. Now this year we have Birds of Prey, which was a disastrous flop. They are still trying to figure out, I don't know what went wrong with that one. What could have possibly went wrong with it? Well, probably you lecturing your customers for a year, telling them how, men's time is up. That probably didn't work out very well for you. So now we have a writer for the She-Hulk TV show making some rounds. This isn't the first time that I've talked about her, actually. She's been in a few videos. She's very, 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 very progressive. Almost to the lunacy side, it would seem. And she's been making rounds now with her talking about South Park. I also want to talk about the fact that this is going to be the standard for the MCU now. And that's not a good thing. They're following the path of their comic books. So if you followed me, your boy Zach, and a few others, you know that the comic book industry is a disaster right now. The people that write the comics have no talent. They're super, super progressive, far, far left, and it reflects into their creativity. This is why most of the comic books at Marvel are complete dog crap. And now we're bringing these types of people in to write for the shows and the movies. I'm kind of concerned because, it's going to be sad to see this universe go down. But this person here, this Dana Schwartz, by the way, doesn't have any experience really as a writer. Here's her experience as a writer. The United States of Detroit. Documentary. That's it. She's a director for a documentary called Sea Change. And she's been a producer on those two projects as well as California Typewriter and Paper Tigers. So she's been a producer and a director and a writer for all documentaries. If IMDb is correct, she's never really written anything. So now she's coming over and she's going to write She-Hulk with no experience writing anything like this before. This is Marvel, which is owned by Disney. You couldn't get somebody with experience writing to come in and do this. To me, they're just grabbing somebody for their politics, basically, which is what's been going on with the comics for the longest time. You couldn't get anybody else to write that has any kind of experience. So they're doing this segregation thing. This is what they've been doing in the comics for a while. So basically, you're going to have to get a woman writer, director, producer, everything. But you can have mixture when it comes to male and teen movies, but when it comes to the female movie, everybody got to be a female attached to it. I know a movie that did that recently. It was called Birds of Prey. And how did that movie work out? How'd that movie work out? So now we're going to apply that formula to pretty much everything at Marvel because every movie they've announced, they haven't really announced like anything particularly to the plot. It's all like this like identity politics stuff. Like this character's going to be into this kind of person. This character's going to have this kind of identity. This is going to be the first this type of progressive thing. Like this isn't what gets people excited for movies and TV shows. I don't know when they'll understand that, but apparently we're just going to ride everything into the ground. Ride or die, baby. This is what we're doing, I guess. So this is just a really good example of the type of people that are coming in to headline these products. So the She-Hulk writer goes on Twitter and criticizes South Park. Marvel Studios She-Hulk writer Dana Schwartz took to Twitter to criticize Trey Parker and Matt Stone's South Park, claiming it seems impossible to overstate the cultural damage done by South Park. Schwartz wrote, "In retrospect, it seems impossible to overstate the cultural damage done by South Park, the show that portrayed earnestness as the only sin and taught that mockery is the ultimate inoculation against all criticism." So her entire timeline is filled with this kind of stuff. And it's really sad. Look at this one. "To be clear, I don't blame the show as much as I do the generation of boys who internalized it into their personalities, which maybe isn't the show's fault." And then she's screen capping people that like the show here that have been hitting her up and going after her opinion. She can't handle the internet very well, basically. And she's freaking out about it. And you have tweet after tweet after tweet. And this isn't her first rodeo. Like I said, she's had bad takes like this before. And she's got some really cringy stuff out there she said in interviews. And it's pretty sad. So what are we doing? Well, we're just going to go ahead and give this person an entire show. She-Hulk. Never mind the experience. She's got the right values. I guess that's all that really matters at MCU now. Doesn't matter what kind of experience you have. As long as you've got the right values, welcome aboard. It's just funny here because she just doesn't expect the purpose of South Park. South Park isn't trying to solve the world's problems. They're just trying to make people laugh. But of course, the way these people think is everything needs to be a lecture, right? There's no entertainment allowed anywhere. You need to be lectured 24/7 until you come around to their way of thinking. That's pretty much what it is. And she says so pretty much right here. "Not many cartoon comedies are explicitly political as South Park, nor have they been as influential in shaping young viewers' ideologies. In that sense, I would argue that South Park actually does offer a solution. But their solution is just laughing at everything." Yeah, because, to be honest, everything is pretty much a joke right now. So it's nice to have somebody recognize that and make fun of it. She says something right here, which is pretty stupid and should tell you right now where her Marvel show is going to go. She says, "Not taking anything too seriously is a privilege of people who have never faced systemic discrimination. Ironically, dismissing genuine issues as people being offended is pretty cowardly." And then she says, if you're offended by what she says, you're triggered. You seem triggered, considering you've been tweeting about it all day long. So then she dismisses people with anime avatars and stuff. I'm just more so concerned about the MCU at this point. I already was concerned, but now we're hiring people with zero experience writing based on ideology. That has to be what it is, because all she's done are documentaries. So I don't really see the qualifications here other than politics or something, because they obviously didn't say, wow, this documentary about typewriting history sure is really a qualification for you to come in here and write She-Hulk, because those have so many things in common. No, it's probably all of her woke stuff, because, that's the way the MCU has been presenting itself ever since Endgame ended. It's all about identity politics. It's all about, who you like to hook up with, stuff like that. And, it's fine. You want to run into the ground, your biggest moneymaker. You already did the Star Wars. Why not do it to Marvel? Why not? So this is funny and kind of concerning. It's going to suck to see the MCU pretty much be destroyed, but at least we should get some laughs out of it. I mean, this stuff is pretty funny and cringy at the same time. So we'll see what happens. But it's still kind of sad. I really did like a lot of the MCU stuff, but what are we going to do? Everything has to be woke now. So, it is what it is. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. What do you think about She-Hulk? Are you concerned? Are you concerned about the MCU? What are your thoughts? I'd like to hear them. Also, share the video if you would. Throw a like up. Hit that notification bell. Make sure you still subscribe. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment, make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that and subscribe if you're new.